Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for June 30th to July 7th, 2023. I invite you to close your eyes and join me in setting the intention for the reading today. 3 nice deep breaths. With each breath dropping into our body, pulling ourselves here and now into this present moment. And I invite you to envision a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now, knowing that this will make you very present, as well as provide a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, and we are about to do a reading for the week of June 30th to July 7th, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our well-being and the good of everyone whose life we touch, as well as the good of this beautiful planet we call home. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible and for the broadest good, and that we cover all that we need to in the time that we have together here today for our good. At this time, I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, peace, inspiration, joy. Whatever else is in our hearts and minds at this time, may it be pulled into this circle of light here today and addressed. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. And okay, I think we're all ready to go. Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our personal and collective highest and greatest good? Wherever we are on the planet, whatever it is we're up to, what is it that will serve us most to know this week? So we can rise and shine and be our best and bring our good to the world. Okay. Recent past, the card that influences our present and future. Relevance. It's important. It's an understanding that we've integrated. So the idea of death, the idea of endings, the idea of deep transformation. We have cocoons here at the bottom. Death is a major arcana. This is important. We have to pay attention. But this is radical endings, and this is sitting in our recent past. So it's like an ending of things that have been, and understanding that there is a freedom and a release that happens when we have this kind of an ending. And it's not to say that we won't grieve, because death is very difficult, especially when we lose somebody we love or something that we love has come to an end, a time in our life, a window of opportunity. But ultimately, it always is in service to us. We have a skeleton walking along with a big grin on their face. They're moving towards something new. The dance of life is transformative. That's one sure thing about being here in human form at this time. We will be transformed by being here in human bodies. And allowing that transformation, not resisting it, not fighting it, but working with it, allying with that energy and allowing it to move us forward more effortlessly. There's something about that quality of resistance that needs to be addressed. Because when we push against, it's like there's an amplification that happens. What we resist persists is one of the quotes that comes to mind. But that idea of we need to be moving towards something that's inspiring rather than pushing against something that we don't want. And so bearing that in mind as one goes about life, what are we moving towards? Just like this skeleton, what are we moving towards? What are we moving forward to. Regardless of what stage of life we are at, we're always transforming, we're always changing. There's always an opportunity for growth, for change, for something good to come. We know this. This is what that position tells us. This is in our past. So this is something that we know, and it's something that applies right now in our present. Move these back a bit. Present card, the world. All right, 2 major arcanas. It's going to be a good week. The world is all about us. We are the dancer with life. We are co-creating with life in every moment. We have the opportunity to live this life as deeply, as fully, and as richly and satisfyingly as we desire. But we have to understand that we are co-creative elements with life. We are not here to be passive, to sit against the wall and wait for things to happen. Our opportunity is right now. Our opportunity is here. Our opportunity is to show up and step into the rhythm of life and be part of it. Not hold back, but engage with life and enjoy the dynamism. Because when we really engage with life, there's a beauty and a momentum and a rhythm that happens that is so remarkable. And so this card is telling us to get in the game, to get on the field, to really step up and allow ourselves to be fully engaged and present and enjoying our experience. Because when we're in the moment, when we're here now, we've talked about this before, it's where everything happens. This is where the opportunity is to live into the life that we want, to be the person that we want to be, to express the love, to be the clearing for beauty and well-being and happiness and joy and love. It's right here, right now. And that's why being embodied is so important. Coming home to this body, breathing into the body, remembering that our connection to this physicality, I think we have this illusion in a lot of the spiritual traditions, this sort of idea that we escape the body, but that's not what being embodied in human form is about. It's about being here now, understanding that it is precious. We had one recently, that this one precious life, this important discernment that we're never going to be this iteration again. So how do you want it to go? Who do you want to be? What do you want to bring to the light, to life, to the world? What do you want to be remembered as? But it starts here in this present moment. And every present moment is a new opportunity to choose, and to choose well. And to remember what we're choosing, which is a challenge when we're in human form. But it's good. It's very good. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles, abundance, which is another lovely card, an earth element card. Pentacles having to do with being here on the earth at this time in a body, enjoying it all, enjoying the harvest, enjoying the beauty, enjoying good quality food and company and the stuff of life, but being present to it, stopping to smell the roses, stopping to appreciate how well a piece of equipment works for you, basking in the good of it all. And this card of abundance is that quality of basking, that quality of gratitude and appreciation, and soaking in it, being here in this moment, creating what's coming next in every moment, and then enjoying it, realizing that we're creating in this moment magnificently, and we have choices to what we're creating. So when we come back to this point of power, which is right here, right now, understanding that our level of frequency is what is pulling more of the same towards us. So our energetic set point, our emotional feeling set point is what the universe is going to match. So being a master of this, letting go of what no longer serves us, being willing to change, being willing to transform, to being a master that is intentionally dancing with life, that is engaging in the dynamic and enjoying it all, being here in this life and saying, wow. It was like somebody said to me recently, if you knew you only had a short time to live and you could come back to Earth only for a short time, and it just turned out that that short time was going to be spent in traffic or doing something that was kind of unpleasant. Your experience of it would be so different than the default experience or the conditioned experience is. There would be a presence to that experience because you'd know that was it. This would never happen again. You would never be here again. And yet we don't go through life like that. I mean, I think it would be a bit of a burden maybe because we'd get stuck trying to cling to things. And that's the interesting thing is we have to engage and be here and really enjoy it and savor it and then let it go. Let it flow and move on to the next piece. Because if we hold on, we're not allowing the transformation. We're not allowing the change. We're not allowing the movement and the momentum to shift and build and become something new and different. It's interesting, isn't it? So there's this quality of transformation. We know we have to transform. We know things have to end in order for new things to happen. That's just how life flows. And we know that, we have this one lifetime to enjoy it. And so before this end point is reached, how are you going to spend your days? How are you going to spend your moments? Starting right here, right now. What are we choosing? And then dancing with life, really engaging vigorously, happily, intentionally and willfully. And I'm not saying you have to go full throttle all the time. That's not what I'm saying at all. But rather this idea of being engaged with all of you in a good way and savoring it all, because that's where the good comes from. Is from the recognition of the blessings in this moment. The appreciation and gratitude for those blessings draws more. The universe loves to match our set point. And so our set point becomes the blueprint for what we're pulling into our lives, into our experience. And the foundation card is passage. Moving from a difficult time into a time of smoothness. And once again, it's changed a little bit. So we have these people who've been out in a storm. They've lost their mast. They've lost their rudder. They're adrift on the seas. And the storm is over, thank goodness. And they're moving into calmer waters. But they have no way of steering the boat. They really need to just surrender and trust. And he's signaling because there's a boat within within their distance. And they will be rescued soon. So their hard times are really coming to an end. But there's this quality of passage, of being in between, of not being rescued yet, but you're not in the throes of the storm either. That's our foundation card this week. This quality of passage, of the movement from one aspect to another. And giving ourselves permission to not know what's next. That's okay. We can dream, and I encourage you to dream. Dream with your heart, to dream with your love of life, your love of what is, and all this provides information for that. Dream how you'd like it to be. Who would you like to be with? How would you like it to go? But from that feeling place, and that at the same time be okay with where we are, personally and collectively. We don't have all the answers. We don't have it all figured out yet. It's happening. We're creating it. We're leaving the old and we're moving into the new. So if we're going to create a new thing, what do we want it to look like? Again, it's time for us to engage and not to be passive. And how we do this is by moving forward in our lives towards what is significant and beautiful and meaningful and attractive and inspires enthusiasm with us. That's our work. And if we all do that, wow, the future will be stupendous because we'll all be moving enthusiastically forward towards something good. Again, this idea of not shouting no at something, but turning and saying yes. It's so much easier to turn and move towards the yes rather than look at what is and shout no at it. So this week, this quality of passage, this quality of moving from one to another, of being in between, of not necessarily having all the answers or having it all figured out, but getting okay with being in this place in between. And understanding that what there is to do is be in this present moment, engage fully, love your life, love what you're about, love the people around you to the best of your ability, give thanks for all of it. Get into that attitude of gratitude and appreciation. And let that guide you moving with the heart, not the mind so much this time. Moving with the heart, letting the heart lead, following the shiny things that your heart is saying yes to, that are congruent with all of you. So that's our beautiful reading this week. We don't see this one very often, the world. So it's kind of interesting to see that right here, right now in our present. And with that, let's pull the card to grow on. So Creator, as we move from this present moment into more present moments, what would be helpful to keep before us? What would be inspiring and supportive and help us to distinguish so that we can do our good work in good ways and stay in the flow? It's unbelievable, isn't it, how often we get this card? Our pruning card, the card of force, wielding that sword with intention and discipline and focus so that we are creating what we want, the results. We're not just randomly swinging that sucker around. We are being very deliberate about applying our mind and our action to our life. So we once again have the card of cleaning things up, of keep pruning, keep cleaning it up. I guess this is still, this ongoing process of transformation. I mean, we're going to be continually changing and transforming, being here embodied in human form. That's the one constant of the universe, is change. Probably there's others that I don't know about because I'm not a physicist, but this idea of, in this moment, what is it time to let go of? What could be moved out of your experience? How could you be clean and clear so that you can move on more easily, more readily, lightly, moving on in this in-between time towards what you want? This is an ongoing process and has been an ongoing process for a while now, but clearly it's not done. We'll never get it done. I mean, that's what being embodied is about. We never get it done. We just keep moving forward. We keep doing what we can do, and we have richer and richer life experience. We move our lives always continually forward when we choose to, towards our yes. And life gets richer, it gets fuller, it gets more beautiful. And as we go along, we're continually having to clean and clear things up, because why are you holding on to all that stuff from childhood when you're in your midlife? It might be fun occasionally, I guess, to look through some of that stuff, but really it's just an impediment to your freedom of movement, your capacity to show up really richly and fully right now. So once again, prune life. Your tree of life needs attention continually. And doing it deliberately and well, a little bit at a time, means it doesn't get overwhelming. And we're living through a time where the pruning is really good for us. We're getting really clear what's important, what's not, what am I prepared to drop, what am I holding on to. And hopefully the things that you're holding on is because it feels good and in alignment, and not because of some sense of obligation or burden or have to energy. And maybe that needs to be looked at. So I invite you to do that this week. Continue keeping you and your house in order, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all that good stuff, so that you can be as clean and clear as you need to be to respond to life in magnificent ways. So with that, I invite you to close your eyes and join me in closing the circle today. Nice deep breath. This present moment is so powerful. It is where it all happens. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you for the opportunity to once again be of service and do this reading for all of our highest and greatest good. I ask that you be with us all as we continue our journey of transformation. Help us to keep our journey light and nimble. Help us to respond from an authentic and congruent space, to recognize what is our good and to recognize what we're ready to let go of. And help us to do this with ease and grace, continually moving ourselves forward in beautiful, aligned, congruent, harmonious ways, following our passion, our love, our enthusiasm, our appreciation, being here now, loving those we're with, and understanding that this moment is so precious and we need to be here now and savor all of it. I want to thank everyone who helped to hold the space today. Thank you for being here, for being part of this circle, for adding your energy to our collective asking, because through our collective asking, the answers come. So once again, thank you. I wish you a beautiful week. May you clean things up and live life richly and fully, and really give yourself permission to be here now and love it all. And dance it deeply. I look forward to seeing you next week. Much love and light. Take care. Bye for now.